the games begin.
We're gonna start with gamification statistics. I'm not really a fan of statistics because, let's face it, statistics lie. Especially predictive statistics. And this data that we're going to show you are predictive statistics. And I can assure you that they are not right. They never are. They are too optimistic. But it's a good way to understand where gamification is going. They will not assume those values, but they'll be close. Okay, so in a report with this huge title, Global Gamification Market Size, Share, Development, Growth, and Demand Forecast to 2022, Industry Insights by Application, Marketing, Sales, and I'm tired already, but come on. Product development, human resource and others, by deployment type, on-premises and cloud-based, by solution, enterprise-driven and consumer-driven, by end-user, enterprise, entertainment, media, consumer goods, retail, education, financial services, healthcare, and others, by P&S Market Research. This is an awful title, but I think they had their reasons to make it this way. Okay. According to this report, gamification will be worth $22.9 billion. This is $22,913 million by 2022. I would say maybe 5 billion less. It's the interval in which they normally fail. But it's a lot of money still, so. There is a prediction for business that 70% of business transformation efforts, that's not a prediction. 70% of business transformation efforts fail due to lack of engagement. This is another kind of statistics. Probably they made a questionnaire. Query? Yeah. Okay. And they reached this number. It's very round, so it's kind of suspicious, but okay. And now, this is a prediction. 53% of technology stakeholders said that by 2020, the use of gamification will be widespread. But I think this is from 2014 or 2015. I don't know if they would say the same by now.
I think it's way too optimistic.
Yeah, but this is a good example. Stewart Agency doubled the number of emails that they collected in 2 years, just in 3 months. This means an 800% increase. That's a lot. In just 3 months, they collected the same number of emails that they've collected previously in 2 years. This is a good example.
Nice. I wanted to click the link and it...
Está escondido. Okay, this is infography. I won't dwell much. I will pick some values. You can check them by yourself. 80% of learners say they want a more game-like experience. 70% Gartner predicted that 70% of Global 2000 companies around the world will use at least one gamified application by 2014. Is this right? I don't know. There are not numbers right now. If this is correct, since this was a prediction for the past, it's kind of difficult to know. 71% of employees are not engaged or are actively disengaged in their work. It's kind of normal. Most people don't do what they like, so. 89% would be engaged with an LMS. You know what LMS is? Learning Management System. I think that is the acronym. Yeah. It's the application at the point system. But
that's easy to say, but maybe if that were the case, they would complain about something else.
Yeah, it does seem like a good idea. I don't know if it would work, but yeah.
Like everything.
40% of companies from Global 1000 organization, top 1000 organizations around the world, will use gamification as the primary mechanism. I'm also a bit skeptic about it because 2015 we don't have that much information about companies using this. So 90% of learners recall information if they are applying content. This is kind of obvious. If you apply your knowledge, you have a easier test to learn it. I mean, it's different from me to tell you, okay, this formula solves a problem, and you using that formula to solve a problem. It's a different thing. If I tell you that, you will probably forget. If you use it, you won't forget it because it's experience in first hand.
You consider the rest of the infographic when I share the slides with you? Yes,
It's-
more curious.
Yeah,
curiosities,
it's more
like
curiosities. Like I said, I don't trust much in statistics.
that. Okay.
It's a personal thing, but okay. I've talked about this yesterday. A lot of the examples in the education use serious games. We've talked about serious games. They are games that are used for serious purposes. They are not really used to entertain. They are used to teach something or have a specific result. There are a lot of potential benefits on using gamification inside the classroom. We give you students control. They are responsible for their progress. They learn at their own pace. They have several levels. They can choose what they do when they want to do it. And that's a good thing because a usual problem in classrooms, especially a classroom that has a lot of students, is that there are a lot of different speeds of learning. Different students learn at different paces. That's normal. Gamification allows them to take that in their own hands. They choose when to learn, what to learn. Now, augmented empathy by playing other perspectives. I like this one because when you put someone in a different perspective, in a different scenario, they are kind of forced to learn things through other perspective. Imagine we will speak, I think, today yet about an example. It's the World Peace Game that John Hunter, an American professor, created. So he gathered his students, he created a huge game board, and the point was the kids would control the countries. They have to find solutions for problems that were created. And the point of the game was to try to find a solution without going to war, avoiding war. The worst thing you could do, it was to resort to war. It's very interesting and think about this. Right now, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. If you put an Israeli in the Palestinian perspective and the Palestinian in the Israeli perspective, they will learn. They'll have to think things the other way around. But you have to create a good experience, a real experience. You have to understand what the other part feels and thinks like. That's the empathy working. Well, another point, students can fail and try again with no negative repercussions. Yeah, you lose a game, you try again. It's that easy. And besides getting their pride hurt, which sometimes hurts, especially the killer perspective, the killer can't lose, doesn't allow himself to lose. But that's just it, hurt pride. Better engagement in the classroom, especially if you create a cooperative effort. They will seek each other's help. Normally, when I teach classes, I see students, they are sitting at that table, they are focused in like a little bit like you are now, looking at the slide, but they are by themselves there. If they have a problem, either they ask me something or they don't. Sometimes they don't. They just shut up. In a gamification experience, they have the chance to ask their colleagues, to search for help. They have an extra incentive to do that.
How do you think that if we consider the personalities that we saw yesterday, the Bartol,
Yeah.
how do you think the killers would act in this scenario? Engagement in the classroom, interaction with each other.
With each other?
Yeah. Or with you as a teacher?
I'm supposed to not be a threat to them. I'm not competing with them, so I think I would be okay.
Their colleagues, if you want to create in this case, there are groups now.
Yeah.
And we saw yesterday there are 6 killers here.
I don't know.
How do you think they will?
But in
This
which
is
way?
a question to maybe
I think
to you as
it
well.
can be interesting because they learn. I said yesterday that killers have a perspective that other people can slow them down in team. But if they in a way are forced to keep that people in their team, they will learn. What happens normally is that killers are very confident. So they think, okay, this guy is going to drag me down. But at the moment, he has some problem that he has solved, and that other person tells him the solution, he starts to see value in that person. And he starts to think, okay, this person can help me win. So kind of changes the board.
Yeah. Okay.
It was your, okay, thank you. Different experience create different ways of explaining the subject which can improve learning. This again has to do with the different speeds and ways that the students have to learn. And the support, the media support. Some students prefer videos. Some students prefer to read. Some students have to have things explained to them. They prefer a human approach. They prefer to ask someone to how things go. They have the chance, especially with virtual reality, we'll talk about it a little bit later, to apply theoretical concepts in practice. So they can have a simulation can be created, and they can apply what the theory that normally is taught to them in that scenario. Creation of goals and objectives. This way it's easier to break down a subject in smaller portions. Again, in a way, with giving students control, they can take those smaller objectives and achieve them at their own pace. And inspiring students to learn autonomously. It's different being a teacher and telling them how things are, and they starting to search for information for themselves. Gamification provides that. They have to search for themselves. I need water. Come on. Okay. Minecraft, wait. Minecraft by itself.
Anyone here doesn't know what Minecraft is?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Okay. We'll see video. You will be able to understand kind of what it is. It's an open survival world. where you have to do that. You have to survive. You start the game with in a not so pretty scenario. It's very simple. But you'll watch. If you have doubts, I'll explain it. Do you want to try to explain?
Yesterday we were talking about aesthetics, but we said today it is a bit silly to think aesthetics is important to a game, as in visuals, graphically appealing. And when Minecraft came out, it's a game. It's all blocky. There's those blocks there. It's a tree in Minecraft. It's all blocky. And people were a bit skeptical at first because that's kind of ugly. But it immerses you. It brings you into the world, even with those aesthetics. And it tells you that that's not the important thing in immersion. Important is how you feel in the game, or Minecraft is also used not only as a survival game, but also as a open creation platform where you can build structures and basically add anything you want. And it was adapted for education. We'll show you a couple of videos.
Tens outro link. Education Minecraft.net. É do site mesmo. Mas tens aí?
Os vídeos não
Consegues abrir? Não, mas eu queria mostrar.
I'll show you the website.
É importante para o carro.
Education.
Minecraft.net. Yeah. Okay, this is the Minecraft Education. Minecraft Education is a special release from Microsoft. Microsoft bought Minecraft. When the teachers started to understand that kids were learning inside the game, they started to use the game to teach. And it's been quite a useful tool. Microsoft has created a couple of modules that are really targeted at teaching some specific subjects. For example, you have the chemistry module. You have the Chinese Tang Dynasty collaborative.
Capital.
Yeah, they have to build a city, I think. You have Code Builder to learn to code, and a lot more. Redstone circuits are very interesting because they work like electrical circuits. They can build machines like it was real electronics. It's kind of interesting. Now we'll show you the video. There are two videos. One explains a little bit how teachers are using it, and the other one is specific about a module.
A major offense. I've described it this weekend as an awakening.
I was truly learning with and from my students.
These teachers see the excitement for the students, the level of engagement. I think it makes them realize that this is what I got into teaching for.
If the kids are so incredibly passionate about this game, there's obviously value in it to them.
It's not that it helps kids learn different. They've been learning that way. They've been learning through gaming. It helps us see the way that they learn different. And I think that is the biggest game changer.
Minecraft is the one tool I found where the collaboration is incredible.
There's a lot of potential where we have students and teachers can come into the same space and interact together. When we give them the license and just give them a challenge, we want you to do project X, Y, or Z. Teach us what you know about biomes. Show us a sustainable build. Show us what you know about volume. They're very comfortable in that environment, and it's really powerful to watch it happen.
I've never seen a more empowering tool for kids to use to create.
The students have a lot of ownership. They have a lot of autonomy, of agency in that space.
You talk about the same experiences that computer programming gives, where you're allowed to fail and you're allowed to do things. Minecraft provides that same experience. My favorite line is build a house, and the magic happens when you do that. To walk into the world that a child has created and to see their excitement, to watch their eyes light up, it is something that you honestly have to experience at least once in your life.
They are able to connect what they're doing, their actions, and this seemingly play game environment, but they begin to make connections to their learning. And when they're doing that, you're only bounded by your imagination. The sky's really the limit.
It's so often, I guess, these times of education when we feel like we can't take a leap and do something that isn't planned, that isn't tested, that isn't something that fits into the confines of a textbook. But when you look at kids loving learning and learning that we didn't define, nothing speaks louder than that.
My feeling is let's tap into the way kids learn, let's embrace that, and let's bring that into the classroom. And when we can do that, we've really, made something happen.
The dynamic of the classroom has really changed.
It's refreshing to see that kids want to be creative, kids want to have this clean, open slate to do whatever they can or want to, or dream.
That doesn't happen in classrooms normally. But I think more and more, Minecraft is going to be able to help people figure out a collaborative, digital future that they would have never imagined otherwise.
This is the explanation. Now we have an in-game video about the chemistry module.